The next time you walk through a parking lot, take a look at the back edge of a car's roof, right above the rear window. On many cars, you'll notice a row of small plastic fins. They don't look important. They might seem like cheap trim or a sporty design feature, but they're not decoration. These small plastic pieces quietly change the way air flows around the car while it's moving. Without them, some cars would use more fuel, and at highway speeds, they could become less stable. Most people drive past them every day without knowing what they actually do. To understand how a piece of plastic the size of your thumb can do all of this, you first need to meet the invisible enemy that fights your car every time you drive. Here's something most people never think about. When you're driving on the highway, you're not moving through empty space. You're pushing through a thick, heavy fluid called air. Air has weight. As your car moves forward, the air flows over the hood, climbs up the windshield, and slides across the roof. Car designers spend millions of dollars making the front of a car as smooth as possible so the air can flow easily over it. On the front half of the car, this works very well. A very thin layer of air sticks to the surface and moves along with the car, almost like a second skin. But at the back of the car, trouble begins. Air doesn't like making sharp turns. So when it races across the roof and suddenly reaches the steep drop of the rear window, it can't bend quickly enough to follow the glass. Instead, it simply pulls away from the surface. And that's where the real problem starts. When the air separates, it leaves a spinning pocket of low-pressure air behind the trunk. Engineers call this the wake. It acts almost like a vacuum, pulling backward on the car. Imagine driving with an invisible parachute tied to your rear bumper. This backward force is called drag, and it quietly steals fuel efficiency and stability every mile you drive. So how do you stop it? The simplest answer would be to change the shape of the car. If you stretched the back into a long teardrop shape, the air would stay attached all the way to the end. There would be no sudden drop and almost no vacuum. Problem solved. Except that such a car would be around 20 feet long. It would be difficult to park and impossible to use in crowded city streets. So engineers faced a difficult question. How can you remove that vacuum without changing the shape of the car? That's where those little fins come in. They're called Vortex generators, and they're placed exactly where the airflow is about to separate. Instead of trying to keep the airflow perfectly smooth, they do the opposite. They intentionally disturb it. As the air hits each fin, it forms tiny spinning tornadoes called vortices. That sounds completely backward. Why would you want messy spinning air on a smooth car? Because spinning air has energy. These tiny vortices pull fast-moving air from above down toward the slower air near the rear window. This gives the slower air more energy and helps it stay attached to the glass much longer. Instead of separating early and creating a large vacuum, the airflow stays attached all the way down to the trunk. That makes the wake much smaller. And here's the surprising part. This idea didn't come from cars. It came from airplanes. Fighter jets and passenger aircraft use the same kind of vortex generators on their wings. If airflow separates from a wing, the wing loses lift and the airplane can stall. To prevent that, engineers add these small fins to keep the airflow attached to the wing. Car designers simply borrowed the same idea. This also explains something that seems strange at first. A perfectly smooth surface is not always the most aerodynamic. Sometimes making a surface slightly rough in the right place actually improves airflow. That's why golf balls have dimples. A perfectly smooth golf ball wouldn't travel as far. The dimples help the air stay attached for longer. It's the same principle, just on a different shape. Now here's the clever part. Yes, each little fin creates a tiny amount of drag by itself. It slows the car down by an almost invisible amount. But in return, it prevents the much larger drag caused by the giant vacuum behind the car. It's like spending 1 penny to save $1. That's the secret. These fins don't break the laws of physics. They work with them. They accept a tiny loss to gain a much bigger advantage. They trick the air into behaving as if the car has a long, smooth teardrop shape, even though it doesn't. It's a multi-million-dollar aerodynamic problem solved by a few cents worth of molded plastic. That's why Mitsubishi covered the roof of the Lancer Evolution with a row of Vortex generators. It's also why Toyota hides them near mirrors and the edges of taillights, where most people never notice them. At high speeds, they provide a little more stability and control. So the next time you're driving, look at the back of the roof on the car in front of you. Those tiny fins you've ignored your whole life are quietly fighting an invisible storm and winning. If this video changed the way you look at your own car, subscribe. This channel is all about the hidden engineering behind the everyday things we use. And your car has another tiny feature that's even stranger than this one. I'll show you that in the next video.